Hello, everyone. In this session, we're going to look at question number 2, task 2 from the Management Accounting Budgeting paper for the Practice Assessment 1 from the AG website. So this task is very common in the exam, where we have to look at how many unit we have to produce or manufacture after having some rejection. It's a very common question in the exam, so make sure you understand it. Let's read the question. We have complete the following production forecast for product G. Round any decimal figure up to the next whole number of a unit if necessary. So if you have closest whole number, you have to round it up. We have two information here. Closing inventory should be 30% of the following sales volume. Following means next. Following means the next week sales volume. 8% of all production failed quality control check and is rejected. That means every time when you manufacture, so 8% is failed on the quality control check. And that means we have to always make 8% more because 8% will be rejected. For example, if I need to make 100 unit, so I need to make 100 unit plus 8% extra, because 8% will be wasted because of the quality check. So we need to produce more than what we need because of the rejection. 10 marks question. Let's have a look. The first one, it says opening inventory. The first information we have for the closing inventory, that is 30% of the next week sale. So let's do the closing inventory. So we have a sales volume, we can see here. So for week 1, we need to take 30% from week 2. So it will be the 30% of next week's sales volume. So we do 69,000 times 30%. So 69,000 times 30%. And that gave us 20,700. So this is my closing inventory. 20,700. And remember that what is closing for week 1 is opening for week 2. So this 20,700 will be the opening for week number 2. So 20,700. So whatever is closing for this week is opening for next week. So what we have here now, so we have already closing inventory, we have opening inventory and the sales. So we need to complete 3 more boxes, that is production, rejected production, and total manufactured unit. So here, the first thing I need to look at now, how I can find out how many goods I need to produce. So we have to sell, the sales demand is 68,000. So 68,000 unit I will sell. So that's my demand for the sales volume. And I need to keep also 20,700. So after selling, I should have 20,700 on my stock, on my warehouse. So 20,700 will be on my closing inventory even after sold. So I need to add this because I want to keep this one as a closing inventory. And I already have some in the stock, that is opening inventory, 20,000. So I said I don't have to make 20 because I already have 20 from the opening. So we'll say sales volume, then a closing, and minus opening. And that will tell us how many unit I have to produce. 68,000 plus 20,700 minus 20,000. And that will give us 68,700. 68,700. 68,700. Now, obviously, the story can be closed here if we don't have any rejection, but the question said we have 8% rejection. That means we have to make 8% extra. The way I do, you can choose any other way if you like to do the workings, but I think the very quicker one, we can find it out how many unit we have to produced after the rejection. So with the production, good production, so here we have 68,700. So we need to add 8% more. So we need to gross it up. How we gross it up? If it is 8%, I have to divide with 0.92 so that I can see how much is the 100%. If it is 10% rejection, then we do divide 0.90. If it is 5%, then 0.95. It's very easy to gross it up that way. So 68,700 divide 0.92, and that gives me 74673.9, so 74. So this is the unit I have to produce, and obviously after minus 8%, then I will still have 68,700. So we have here 74,674 I have to produce. And if I produce this amount, even after rejection of 8%, I will still have 68,700. This is the one we need. So now we have to see how much is the rejection. The difference between these two, actually the rejection. So the gross and how much is the production. So if we make a difference between these two, and this balancing figure will come here, how much is the rejected production. So this will be 5974. That's it. It's a little bit tricky, but once you practice few times, you will be absolutely fine. The next one we'll do the same way. So for the next week, we have 20,700 is the opening, and sales volume is 69,000. The closing will be 30% of the following. So that means I'll take the 30% from 67,000. So 67,000 times 30%. So my closing is 20,100. And this closing will be the opening for next period, 20,100. Now we do the same thing. So we do our production 69 plus the closing 20,100, and then minus the opening 20,700. So 69,000 plus closing 20,100 minus 20,700, and that will give you 68,400. 68,400. And now we do the same way. We need to gross it up. So 68,400 divide 0.92. And that will tell us how much you have to make. 74, 347.8. So 348. So 74, 348. And again, the same way you can find the difference between this one and the sales production, exactly the same way. The rejection will be 5948. And exactly the same way we'll do for the next one. So for the 30% of the closing of 70,000, and that will give us 21,000. This 21,000 will be the opening for next week. And then the production will be for week 3, 67,900. And the total manufacturing unit will be 73,805. And the rejection is 5905. For the week 4, closing inventory will be 30% of 72,000. That is 21,600. And the production will be 70,600. And the manufacturing unit will be 76,740. And the rejection will be the difference, 6140. So once you understand the first 1-2 weeks, then you know how to do it. So this is 10 marks question. If you remember how to do it, it will be really easy. But if you don't practice well, it could be really tricky in the exam. So make sure you practice enough this question because it's very common in the exam. All right, let's move to our next one. The next one we have here for 1 marks, 1 marks. So let's have a look what we have here. So it says you have the following information. Okay. 61,000 item of product W will be manufactured next week. Each item require 11 kilogram of raw material. 5% of raw material is wasted during the manufacture. Opening inventory will be 84, closing 80. How many kilogram require to input for the production? And how many kilogram must be purchased? Now we need to purchase 5% extra, isn't it? Because 5% will be wasted during our process. So we need to buy 5% extra. And how many kilogram we need for the production? So you can see 61,000 is the unit. And per unit, we need 11 kilogram. So 61,000 times 11, that gives me 67. And so we have 67,001,000. And we already have 84 opening. So we need to minus 84. And we want to keep closing 80,000. So 80,000 we need to add. So minus 84,000 plus 80,000. So we need 667,000 if we looking at the input. Now we need to do a little bit more workings to find it out the actual result. So one thing we have to be very much careful here. So this input I need for the production, because I have to make 61,000 product W, and each unit need 11 kg. So this 67,671,000 actually. So this one I have to see how much I need to buy extra for that. So how many I need to put inside of the machine to get 671,000. So that means I need to put a little bit extra because 5% will be wasted during the process. So if I put, for example, 12 kilo, I get 10 kilo. So I need net 671,000 kilos. So how many kilo I need to put on the machine, on the production? So I need to divide with 0.95 to gross it up. So I said 671,000 divide 0.95. So I need to put on the machine 70631 5.7, so make 6. So this is the amount or kilo I have to put on the machine to get 671,000. So I said I need to put 763.16 to get 671,000. All right, now how much I need to buy? I don't have to buy all of this because I have already some. So I have opening. So I already have like opening 84. So I already have 84,000. And I want to keep closing 80,000. So I do minus 84,000 plus 80,000. And that gives me 70231 5.7. So let's take 6. So 7023116. 7023116. Remember this calculation, if there is no wastage, we do this way. But as there is a wastage, we have to gross it off, this one first. Then we have to adjust our opening and the closing. The next one we have here, you have the following information. 88,000 item of product Z will be manufactured in July. 25 items are made in 1 labor hour. 25 items are made in 1 labor hour. So if I spend 1 labor hour, I can make 25 unit. Okay. 15 staff will each work 180 basic hour. Okay. That's fine. How many overtime hours should be budgeted? Okay. So first I need to know how many hours actually I need. So I can see here in 1 hour I can make 25. We need to make total 88,000 items. Okay, so let's find it out first. How many hours actually I need? So I have 25 items in 1 hour. So we can say to make 88,000 items and divide by 25. 88,000 divided by 25. So I need 35, 20 hours. These hours I need, but require. So now I need to look at how many hours I have. The question says 15 staff will work 880 basic hour. So if we said 15 staff times 180 basic hour, so 15 times 180, so that gives me 2700 basic hour. So if I want to see the difference between these two, I need 3,520 hour, but I have only 2,700 hour. So rest of the hour I have to plan for the overtime. So this is 820 hours. So this is overtime. There's a difference how many hours basic I have and how many hours I need to make the production. All right, let's move to the next one. Okay, the next one we have here, it says, we have the following information. There are 90 machines in the department. Each can be used for 240 hours in the period. 9,750 items are to be made. Each item requires 2 hours of the machine. What is the machine utilization? So I need to look at like how much the capacity we have and how many hours, how many we are using. So this is the one you have to find it out. So they're asking for the percentage here. So what is the capacity utilization? So let's find it out. How many hours we have actually? So it's a 90 machine and each machine 240 hours. So 240 hours for 90 machine. So how many hours we have total? So 240 hours for 90 machine. So I have total 21,600 hours. And I need to make 9,750 item, and each item need 2 hours. So how many hours I need to make this 9,750 item? So 9,750 times by 2. So 9,750 times by 2. So I need 19,500 hours. So I need 19,500 hours, but actually I have 21,600 hours already. So what is the utilization? So 19,500 divide 21,600 times by 100. The reason it times by 100 because we want to show in a percentage. So it show 90.2%, but it's a round to the nearest whole number. So it's a 90%. So we have availability of the hours 21,600, but currently we are just using up to 19,500. So we are using 90% of the capacity. All right, move to the next one. The next one we have here for 5 marks question. So according to the standard cost card, each unit of the product require 8 kilogram of material, 45 minutes of the direct labor, and 12 minutes of the machine hour. Okay. Budget have been drafted by the department head, which shows maximum sales demand 720 unit, 6,000 kilogram of material we have available, 450 hours of direct labor we have without using overtime, 140 hours of machine time we have. So this is the basic hour 450 without using the overtime. All right, that's fine. Calculate the capacity constraint for the product JJ by completing the table below. Round down, so you need to round it down, not up, to the maximum whole number of unit if necessary. Okay, let's try the first one. Is a sufficient material are budgeted to manufacture. So the materials we have, how many unit we can make. So for each unit, we need 8 kilogram. And how many kilogram material we have? 6,000. So we said by using 6,000 kilogram material, and each item need 8 kilogram. So 6,000 divide 8. So we can make 750 items or unit. So we can say 750 units we can make by using the 6,000 kg, because each unit need 8 kilo. So it's a 750 unit we can make based on the materials we have. The next one, it says, without overtime, sufficient direct labor is budgeted to be manufactured. Without overtime, so we have 450 hours. And to make one unit, we need 45 minutes. So this is hour, this is minute. So we need to change it. Either we have to make the 45 minute as hour, that is 0.75, or either 450 hours, we have to make the minute, that is times by 60 per hour. So the way we like. So you can say 45 minutes we need to make one unit. So how many minutes we have here? 450 hours times by 60. 60 is per hour, 60 minutes. So 450 hours times by 60, that gives me 27,000 minutes I have. And to make one unit, I need 45 minutes. So divide by 45. And that gives me 600 unit. So based on the labor hour we have without overtime, we can make 600 unit. The next one we have here, sufficient machine time. So we have 140 hours machine time and 12 minutes. Again, the same thing. I need to change it. So 140 hours times by 60. That will tell me how many minutes we have. 140 times 60. So 8,400 minutes I have. And per unit need 12 minutes. Divide by 12. And that tells me I can make 700 unit based on the machine hour we have. The next one we have, without overtime, the maximum sales. Without overtime, the maximum sales. Now from here, you can see with the material, I can make maximum 750. With the labor, I can make maximum 600. And with the machine, I can make maximum 700. Now, all unit need all these three. So you cannot just make the unit just with the material. You cannot just make the unit just with the machine hour. So you need all of these things. So even though I have an unlimited material or unlimited machine hour, but because of the labor hour, I cannot make more than 600. So the maximum I can make without overtime is 600. Even though I have a lot of material or machine hour, but I will not be able to use it because I have not enough labor hour. So maximum I can make without overtime 600. with unlimited overtime. So if I have no limit, how many hours we have, the maximum sales volume will be, I can make the maximum here. So I can make maximum now 700. Why 700? Because this sales volume with unlimited overtime, so there is no limit for the labor hour now. So I don't have to look at 600 because I have more labor hour now. But even though I have a more labor hour, even though I have a more material, but I have a less machine time. So because of the machine time, I will not be able to make more than 700. So I have to stop here. Maximum, even though I have a unlimited labor hour, because of the machine hour, I cannot make more than 700. So you need to understand, to make one unit, we need to have all these three available. If everything is unlimited, then we can fulfill the whole demand, whatever is the demand. But if anything is limited, for example, if the machine hour is unlimited and if the labor hour is unlimited, but because of the material, we cannot make more than 750. So we need to have all of this thing. We have to look at, like, even though other two we have, but because we don't have this one, we have to stop here. All right, so this type of question is a very common in the exam, so make sure you revise. Hopefully, if you revise, you will understand more. And if you have any question, feel free to email me. Thank you very much.